Disney fucking sucks, bro.
It hurts.
The mouse is not in the house no more.
I went to Disney World summer this year. Not even summer, during fall, I think. I don't even remember when I went. It was spring. It was a couple months ago. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
As Dennis graciously pointed out to me, the place has rats. There's a fucking rat infestation at Disney World. I walked in, and the first thing I see is this giant green shrub.
Rats.
I'm looking forward to the Disney, the Disney Mickey Mouse story game, that 4-player co-op game that they have coming out.
This is news to me. Hold up.
Yeah, it was revealed in the Nintendo Direct before this last Nintendo Direct that we talked about last week. Yeah, it's like a 4-player, like, sort of New Super Mario Brothers, like, fucking Sonic Superstars styled, like, co-op platformer game, where you play as Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy. And the art style is really cool.
Is it Illusion Island?
I think. Hold on.
It's to be released next month in July, so I think this might be it then.
Yeah, that's the one, Disney Illusion Island. That game actually looks pretty cool. I can't even lie. I kind of want it. That's made a bit of a resurgence when you really think about it. I mean, you mentioned last week on the show, on the Double D Experience, what you guys are listening to right now on the podcast, right the frick now.
Sometimes Disney, sometimes
right
DreamWorks.
The heck now, right the fuck now.
But always hating our writers so much that they're gonna go on strike. Hey.
Yes. Disney Enchanted Illusion Mystical David Copperfield
Magical.
Island might unironically, especially with the writer's strike, have a better script than fucking their recent films, as we might discuss right now. I remember last week you actually even mentioned that you were saying that kids might not even, like, know about, like, local co-op and stuff. And, like, yeah, you know, it might be a little disconnected now. They make a lot of friends on Discord and stuff. But I don't know if you noticed, there's a lot of, like, multiplayer co-op platformers coming out. There's a new Mario one.
As I said
Sonic
that.
one,
So,
and the fucking Disney one on top of that.
Basically what it means is that all of the big video game companies listen to the show and they hear my opinion and they obviously just know that I know what I'm talking about. So therefore, all decisions they're going to be making is all informed by me. So you're welcome, guys.
You can joke about that all you want, whether it's sarcastic or if you're dead serious right now, but I don't listen to you enough. It was your idea to split the episode in half last week, and it literally became our most viewed episode by far. Like, by far. So, maybe we'll upload on Saturdays, which would be really unfortunate for my business cards, which I printed 500 of on the back, saying that the new episodes are on Fridays.
You can't even put, like, on the business card, like, real tiny font, and sometimes Saturdays.
I can't. Honestly, and I was thinking about changing my Twitter ad, but I still haven't done that yet, and there's some people saying I don't, but whatever, I'm rambling. This weather has been pretty elemental lately. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? Listen, I unfortunately haven't seen it because I don't have a fucking girlfriend. And that is not a movie. Listen, that is not a movie you can see alone. It's a date movie. You know it is.
Before we say anything, saw a movie last night. At least not of the time of this recording, which was like at least a couple days from when you guys might be hearing this. But I watched Elementals, or Elemental. I don't even know if there's an S in there anymore. But I went and watched it with my girlfriend. We watched it pretty late at night. It was kind of like around like 9:30 that we watched it. Got in, sat down, and like, you know, it was a Tuesday, so you know that everyone and the fucking kids were coming to see this because Tuesday's half off movie days. So course you're gonna have like a bit of a packed house, and I was watching it. My girlfriend was definitely like, I think she was way more excited for the movie than I was. At the very least, I thought, okay, this looks pretty fun. It looked fun. And
is it because, much like Ember, she is a spicy Latina?
Hold on. And I just want to at least give my thoughts about this movie a little bit before we start the jokes, because it really like what I took away, especially after I left the movie. Because I watched it, it was good. I thought the story was charming enough. Like at the very least, it was like I wasn't bored. If nothing else, like I thought it had like that Disney charm that we all know and love. And I even at least thought that the characters looked great. I honestly thought, like, at least aesthetically wise, the characters looked like honestly just really great to look at. And I think design choices as well, like it was just very aesthetically pleasing to look at. But then as we were driving home, and I just kept thinking in my head, like, this is Disney's best movie. Like for for this year, it is their best movie. And I only say that because as of this year, the bar has been set so low for them that it's like anything with a pulse of like at least just good storytelling or even like just decent trounces anything that they've released over the last like couple months. And I know now people might be saying that, oh, well, what about Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy? I don't count those for one reason. For one reason. When I say Disney, and when people say Disney, they mean Pixar and Disney Animation Studios. Not Marvel, not Lucasfilm. We're talking straight up classic Disney. Stuff that Walt would have been making had he still been alive. And and for Marvel's case, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, people said it was a fucking banger. At the very least, it was better. But that's, again, it traces back to this one fucking thing that I'm going to keep mentioning. At least it's better than X. That's what everyone has been saying for the last like couple months about Marvel, or even Disney in general. At least it's better than this. At least it's better than that. At least it wasn't this. At least it wasn't that. And that is a terrible spot for your company to be in. If people are talking about the works you're putting out like that, it's a really bad spot to be in my opinion. Because for at least Disney, right? They're going to be compared no matter what. Like, because Disney, this is also their fault. They decided that we're going to have releases up the ass. Whether it be through Disney Plus, whether it be through their major motion pictures, they have a release every fucking 2 weeks at this point. At least that's what it feels like. I am so bombarded with Disney shit that like I don't even want to watch any of it because it just like, you know that feeling you get when you get overwhelmed? You just want to like drop it immediately. You just don't even want to look at it. It's just like I don't want to deal with it. And like, you know, people might argue, well, like, you know, the entertainment's not really like something that you deal with, I guess, quote unquote. And, you know, obviously me and David, we're not like media moguls or, not like moguls, but I guess like we're not like that big on like consuming media that like, you know, I just feel as if I have to watch like the latest Marvel or the latest Disney thing. But like the few times that we do, or at the very least, like you guys, if you guys still even watch TV, and like my girlfriend's one of the few people I know who actively still watch cable. And lately, when I've been at her house and the TV's running, it's like a Disney ad every fucking commercial break. There's always something about some other, like, whatever the fuck don't care series that, like, is coming out that, like, people are, that they're saying, like, oh, like, you should get excited. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Blah. And I have to tell you, like, even when I heard from Disney that they were going to be continuing Star Wars and stuff, I don't give a shit. I honestly don't give a fuck. Like, it's so much fucking shit that they're throwing at us that I didn't even watch the new Guardians because I had already been burnt out by Doctor Strange and Thor. Didn't even watch Guardians, and I heard that it was good. I was like, I didn't even care. Like, I heard from my cousin who watched it that, yeah, it was pretty good. And I'm like, okay. And I have to even admit this. the one movie that I watched that I was actually stupidly excited for was Mario. And that wasn't even a fucking Disney movie. I was even almost thankful that it wasn't. And because here's the thing, if Disney somehow managed to get their fucking hands on Mario, and if they were the ones to have been the ones to release it, I probably would have been way more apprehensive about watching it. Only because it's like, oh yeah, it's another Disney shit. Like, you know, it's just like, at this point, like, Disney's got like a mosaic of fucking works of theirs. Like, it's just like so much of it that you don't even know what is what anymore. And like, people even say like, well, Disney's also got like their documentaries too. That, I mean, if you enjoy it, then, you know, enjoy what you want. But like, I'm never probably gonna watch any of those, to be fair.
Got their grips on a lot of things. I mean, Nintendo probably didn't want Disney anywhere near Mario for that.
Fuck
I mean,
no.
because they're the only thing that's more powerful than them.
Yeah.
That's the company more powerful than Nintendo, and not much scares Nintendo. They try to do a lot of the scaring themselves. But
because you know, Disney was gonna be able to leverage that, like, hey, we're making this movie, we're gonna put our creative inputs in it, and you guys have to sit there and shut the hell up about it.
Not to mention, Disney would probably want to do that collaboration and probably try to slip in a clause to like purchase Mario somewhere. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, just anything else to add to their IP. I'll give you all a fun fact. We talked about YouTubers last week. And I talked about YouTube networks like Defy Media, like Smosh signed with back in the day before they eventually went tits up after Anthony left and almost bankrupted Smosh.
Mm-hmm.
There was another one that sponsored a lot of big YouTubers, like Markiplier, I think, was one of them. Jacksepticeye might have been another. The Game Grumps were one, and I think all of them, but the one that I know confirmed was Epic Rap Battles of History. Ooh. And the Epic Rap Battles of History once released a bonus battle, like not like a normal one, like added to their list. Like it was just like an extra one that they made for like just no reason, seemingly. It was Deadpool versus Boba Fett. And I bet you're wondering, oh, why did they do Deadpool versus Boba Fett? Did they have anything to do with each other? Why did they do this battle? And they made the beat super hype. It's because that was the same year that the Star Wars sequels were about to be released. And Deadpool was about to come out. And when Marvel had recently been acquired by Disney. People don't even know that Maker Studios is owned by Disney, the YouTube network that partnered with Epic Rap Battles of History. That shit was a Disney ad, and no one knew.
Very ninja. Like,
yeah.
Shit.
So, I don't know if people are just sick of Disney for that, or if Elemental really was just that mediocre, which you can get into in a bit, but I don't even know if it's just, like, necessarily Elemental's fault, because I really wanted to, like, I didn't see it yet.
No,
again, because I don't got a fucking girl, and that's not the kind of movie that I feel like I can see by myself,
it's not like
honest.
a movie you go by yourself to watch. It's not.
It's a date movie. It really is. A date movie or a family movie, of which I have neither. And, yeah, here's the thing, though. It's like, when we keep saying that Disney sucks now, that DreamWorks is kicking their ass. Like, I said that so many times. And I want to believe that that's not recency bias, but it obviously is.
Oh, yeah.
Because here's the thing, you know, we say Disney and we look at some of the quote-unquote stinkers that they're releasing, and we're comparing that to Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which many, many people are saying is one of, if not the greatest animated film to be released in the last 10 years.
Still facts, though. It
is genuinely one of the greatest, it is one of the greatest movie scripts I've ever seen. It has the greatest villain I've ever seen in any piece of media I've ever watched. The script is relatable. It's a fucking sequel to a spin-off of what was otherwise assumed to be a dead franchise. And it wound up being as amazing as it was. And
you could even say, revitalized it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now people are actually excited for a new Shrek.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't heard any people talk about it until it was that fucking movie. Like, afterwards, like, the conversation started to kind of get around now. It's like, oh shit, yo, I can't wait for the new Shrek. What are they gonna do with it? Like, are they gonna bring back Puss? Yo, I hope they'll bring the wolf back. There's actually buzz going on about it.
Shrek was a meme.
I hear nothing about it. I hear nothing about any of Disney's shit. Because right now, at the very least, when it comes to Marvel, if we're going to just focus on that a bit, they're on phase whatever the fuck now. And, like, now it's like they're focusing on Kang and, like, the, he's, like, this time and space, like, Hitler, who, like, he's, like, a great threat and all that. But it's just kind of like, at this point, like, I don't think anyone...
No one cares.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone actually fucking cares.
Anymore.
Like, if you are a comic...
significance died with Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was going to say, if you are a big comic book hero fan and you love Marvel that much and, like, you just have, like, your own emotional stake on this, I'm not going to take nothing away from you. But truth be told, I don't think a lot of people are going to see these new Marvel movies because they know that it's overall a part of, like, this overarching sort of plot that they got going on. Because at the very least, that's what the Thanos phases were. When we were watching those, we saw Thanos, we got excited. We knew that, like, the final battle and showdown was coming. We had that build-up. And at the very least, the build-up seemed a bit shorter than this new phase because... this new phase just been cranking out fucking movies like left and right, and plus even the TV shows off the streams as well. Like,
can I say that's what happens when you port quantity over quality?
Yeah.
Because you know what other movie is distracting us from Disney and making us think that this company is better than Disney when their repertoire of movies is not nearly as big, even just compared to Pixar. Like, if we're focusing on their direct competitors, the Super Mario movie.
Illumination. Yep.
Which is now a top 15 highest grossing movie, period. Like, of all time. Top 15 highest grossing movie ever fucking made. Ridiculously huge. So it kind of makes you think... No. And it kind of makes you think, like, are we just... Even though, like, I think some Disney studios worked on it, but they're just owned by Disney, even though Disney, I don't know if, like, up top gets the stake in it. Disney is one of the top 5 or top 4 major media conglomerates. It's ridiculous the amount of things that company owns, but that's... partially a different discussion, maybe more on that later if we get to it, but how much of it is recency bias and how much of it are we comparing to other things? Because you talk about Marvel, which a lot of people don't give a fuck about. I remember some people, like, clamoring, or like that one Disney post clamoring for your Emmy consideration for fucking She-Hulk, which if that show wins an Emmy, like, I am officially going to just walk off of my roof and just see whatever happens. It'll probably fix my fucking back, to be honest. But whatever. You want to actually go through it? Because I keep saying... you remember I was saying this too. Oh, DreamWorks is so much better than Disney. But are they? Let's go through the list, shall we?
Oh, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because here we go. We go through the list of Disney movies.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we started with Ants. Gee, I wonder why they made that movie in 1998. Gee, I wonder why they fucking made that film. All right, let me move this over so I can get a better...
Can I also just say something? Going off of the top lifetime grosses list on box office. Top Gun Maverick, which I didn't know it made that much money, but it's 5th, right? It's top 5. I didn't even expect that. I was shocked. I was shocked reading that.
Can I tell you something about that?
Yeah.
You didn't watch the Oscars, right?
No.
Yeah, most people don't. More people watch the Game Awards now. And, they, at the Oscars, I think they either designate, I don't remember, they either designated an award or for whatever reason, despite, like, you know, like, the Oscars is very drama heavy. You know, like, we focus on the dramas, the Way of Walters, or the Way of Water, whatever the fuck that movie was. not Avatar, the other one with the girl who falls in love with a fish.
Yeah.
Like, those types of weird drama movies and stuff like that always win the best ones. Your fucking, whatever the movie with the Asian lady, Everything Everywhere All at Once, all that stuff. You want to know what movie they wouldn't shut the fuck up about watching the Oscars?
It's Top Gun.
Top Gun Maverick.
Which I liked. I will just say it. I did like it.
You want to... Why? Why would they talk about this weird, like, turn your fucking brain off Fast and Furious-ass action movie at the Oscars when all they care about are, like, the snooty dramas and shit like that? Do you want to know the actual answer to that question, Dennis?
Do you actually know it, or is this, like, all off of your own opinion?
Both.
Okay, go ahead.
He says with the fucking boldness, the fucking audacity, the fucking arrogance,
confidence,
the confidence.
in this man.
I'm serious. Like, this is something my friends told me too, and they're bigger movie buffs than me.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Top Gun Maverick actually gets people to go to the fucking theaters for shit that isn't Marvel.
You guys may not be saying it, but I am nodding myself sagely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
All these
what you mean.
drama films, they're salty as shit that people only give a fuck about these superhero movies and Marvel. Because let's be real, after Iron Man, oh my god, they had the whole fucking industry by the fucking prostate, bro. My god, they had them by the balls. No one gave a fuck about any of these dramas where, like, a woman falls in love with a fish. Or fucking... or the Asian lady is everything everywhere all at once, somehow. Or fucking... Hold on, hold on. List of best picture winners. Or fucking... Yeah, see, I haven't even seen so many of these. I don't even know what Coda is. I didn't see Nomadland. I don't know what that is. Parasite. I remember Parasite.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water. That's the one I was talking about, where the woman falls in love with a fucking pissed off, fuck you, alligator fish. And The Green Book, which is actually a phenomenal film. Like, see, I don't even recognize all of these. I recognize some of them, don't get me wrong, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, holy shit. Marvel just had the industry by the balls for so long that when people pay to see anything, which the Top Gun movies are insanely popular, probably because there's some actual military involvement in those films, it just gets them to come in. So, you know, it just goes to show, like, how political that kind of shit can be on top of everything else. And whatever Disney's place in that marketplace is now is something totally different. Like, I'm telling you, man, you go through the list of DreamWorks films. They started by straight up trying to emulate Disney. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Not even just with Ants, which released, like, the same year as Bug's Life. Like, it's the same fucking movie. Then they had all of their almost 2D animated pictures. Prince of Egypt, Road to El Dorado, Sinbad, all this shit. Like, movies that I thought were Disney. I literally thought Road to El Dorado was a Disney film.
Nope. DreamWorks, man.
Yeah. It wasn't until Shrek where they really started to break into their own. And even then, you know, like, not all of their franchises can necessarily be as iconic. It makes you think, like, is Disney really that much shittier than they used to be? Yes. Or are we just distracted because, like, the news strategy from DreamWorks and from fucking
a lot of places, really, yeah,
and a lot of places really is just that much better, and we're just sick of Disney at this point, and their generic cookie cutter, play to the lowest fucking common denominator, strong women have to be pissed off and hate men, all this, like, stupid tropey bullshit that they come up with. There have been more Pixar films released in, like, the last 10 years than they did in their first 10. Like, they released, like, a film a year in, like, the last, like, 10 plus years, and let's just keep it a fucking buck. They're not as good. A lot of them are sequels. Let's go through that list real quick. First 10 years, Toy Story, fuck yeah. Monsters Inc., fuck yeah. Finding Nemo, fuck yeah. The fucking Incredible, oh! Ratatouille, oh! Up, ah! And then we start to break into 2013. Monsters University, prequel. Good Dinosaur, Kinda Ass. Finding Dory, sequel. Cars 3, sequel. Incredibles 2, sequel. Toy Story 4, the shittiest Toy Story movie. Onward, a movie I loved but nobody saw. You see what happens when you focus on just pumping
Let me
out?
also throw another perspective on that, because now Disney is starting to focus on a lot of movies that are not prequels or sequels. A lot of them are original, I guess, suppose, ideas.
The last
Elemental is an original.
Like, yeah, no, it is. The last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies technically were, not if you don't include Lightyear.
Okay, yeah, fair. So, at the very least, like, you know, Coco as well from a couple of years back, and, you know, there is Encanto, like, there was a lot of newer, like, original ideas that are coming out of them, and Encanto was a success. Coco was a success. It's a great success, but, like, that's how I like to imagine, like, all of, like, Disney's execs are just like, Lightyear did not make good money, not success.
Not a Nas.
It was not a Nas. It was not Nas.
Please say Lightyear. If you do not see, I will be executed.
But, so there are, like, we can't at least deny that they are trying to make more original ideas. Because at the very least, Disney always was about like just having the imagination and just like going nuts with it, really. And but now it's like the conversation is that like people are saying, oh, these original movies fucking like they fucking suck their ass. Like they what a waste of a ticket price. What a waste of admission fare just to even get the fuck in to watch this piece of shit.
Yeah, like, is Illumination better now just because they made a top 15 highest grossing films? Look at all their other films.
That's why I'm gonna...
You didn't see most of that shit.
I'm gonna go off of what David just said right now, and he is right. Because unless you are a parent who had children, you had no reason to watch the new Minions movie. You had no reason to watch The Grinch, to watch The Lorax when that came out. You had no reason to watch any of that shit. And now going to DreamWorks and like, you know, just kind of seeing what they've done in the last, like, let's say couple of months to a year. Puss in Boots 2 was obviously like their best movie just by far. I'd even go as to say probably one of their best movies made of all time. And this is standing with the original Shrek. That's a lot. That's a big fucking thing to say. Like, don't get it twisted. Considering Shrek, I'll even say, was arguably, in that year that it was made, more successful than any Disney movie had any right to be.
Shrek is what spawned the Academy Award for Best Animated Picture. It is not a Disney movie that they made that category for. Shrek was so huge that it literally spawned its own fucking category.
Yeah. They just could not deny it. Like, no. at that point.
Like, this shit's fire. It doesn't matter if it's animated. This movie's fucking amazing.
I bet that eats up Disney so much. I mean, maybe Walt, if he was still around, would have definitely been pissed about that. But
they've won the award way more than DreamWorks did. They were probably salty at the time. They don't give a fuck now.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But at that moment...
You know they wiped their ass with those Oscars, man.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying, like, at that moment, though, when they found out that it wasn't because of any of their movies that this category is being made, but it was because of a DreamWorks movie, a competitor, I would have definitely felt some type of way at the time, right?
And their first CGI film, too, or their first 3D CGI film.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not true at all. They made ants.
No, but I think the quality was way higher though at the very least. Like,
yeah.
I think DreamWorks at the very least learned their lesson from not just ants, but like their other shit. Yeah. And at the very least, like they knew, okay, this is our system. Let's just work within it. Should be okay. And for a while, like, you know, we had one of the best sequels of all time. It's Shrek 2. Like, it was... I don't know, people even say it's even better than the original. And to a certain extent, I kind of agree. Like, it's just, as far as sequels go, it's just... And this is so funny because it's like, DreamWorks is one of those few people that have, well, no, I guess Disney does the same as well. But it's like, you know, every time when we hear a sequel, it's always not, or a lot of times it's just not as good as the original. It just usually just sucks compared to it.
It's a
Return Revenge of Your Mother. Like, you know, it's just like always some fucking dumb like thing.
It's a DreamWorks specialty as well. All of their sequels are always better than the original. Shrek 2.
Puss in Boots 2.
Puss in Boots 2. How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yep.
Fucking Kung Fu Panda 2. All better than the first movie.
They fall into this trap that now Disney's in, where it's like, bro, just stop. Because the third ones are just always not bangers. Or at the very least, it's like Toy Story 3 in Disney's case was a fucking amazing finale. Like, that cannot be denied. And Shrek 3, by comparison, I don't know if it came out in the same year. I don't really think so, but like, it was nowhere near as like the conclusion. I mean, it didn't even feel like a conclusion by Shrek 3. Like, well, I mean, Toy Story 3 literally had an objective. We're gonna conclude the story, but then, you know, 2-3 years later, lol, JK, we're gonna make Toy Story 4, and Woody's just gonna say sayonara to the whole gang and say, I'm gonna fuck my porcelain doll, bitch, and then, you know, fuck all you guys. Also, fuck you, Forky. There's always like, you know, at the very least, it's like, it's like some certain like times. I don't know if it's also just because execs are just like pushing them to go be like, hey, by the way, remember that? This is how I think all execs talk, because they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about at the time, because all they know is money. This is what I imagine, like, how it went down when they were pitching, or at least they forced them to do Toy Story 4. Hey. It's like John Lasseter. I mean, no, well, John already left. I don't know, whoever the fuck was the head of, like, Pixar. Is like, hey, you, Pixar man. It's like, yeah? Make another Toy Story. We'll give you lots of money. But we already concluded it in 3. The toys are safe. They're with a new owner. We don't care. Make another one. No one's really caring about Disney right now. Everyone's always looking at Marvel and Star Wars, trying to get public opinion back on Disney Animation's side. Here's the money. Make it happen. And he walked away. That's probably how it went down, because there was no reason to make that movie. There was no reason, narratively speaking, to make that fucking movie. And I know David at least argued that, okay, it was meant to kind of like tie up the loose ends about a lot of things from 3. Fair, but you could have fucking done that in like a small short that they did. You know what? Let me tell you something right now. I was so... I wasn't angry, but at the very least, I felt cheated, because there was this short that they released with Elemental where it's from Up. It's the grandpa and Carl, and like they're living together and everything, and then Carl, not Carl, the grandpa, he gets a call for a date, and everyone knows, like, you know, this guy probably hasn't dated for fucking literally 60 years at this point, ever since Ellie died. It was so funny. I remember Ellie's name instead of his, which is fucking, like, she wasn't even in the movie for like 10 minutes. But like,
are you talking about the dog?
No, the grandpa.
Yeah, you said the grandpa and who? He was with somebody else.
Doug, my bad, Doug.
So you meant, with the dog, the dog.
Yeah. So like thing. So they were living together. But then the grandpa, he gets a call from an old lady, and she wants to go on a date with him. And he's just like kind of freaking the fuck out, because he hasn't gone on a date in goddamn years. Like, just never had a whiff of pussy, like, thing ever since like his wife died. So now he's just freaking the fuck out, because it's like, I haven't gone on a date for like 60 years. What am I gonna do? And like, he just goes nuts about preparations and all that. And then eventually, like, the dog just kind of sits him down and tells him, like, I love you, and she is gonna love you too. Also, take me with you. And then they like literally, like, he gets him on the leash, and they're like walking, and they go to the date, right? And there's this little heartfelt scene where, like, he picks up the portrait where it's him and Ellie in the photo during the day of their wedding, and he, like, you know, tells her, like, he's like, you know, Ellie, you know I love you, but I guess this is gonna be like another new adventure for us. And like, he puts her back.
I need to get my dick wet.
And then he puts the portrait back on the fireplace, and then they go, and then the short ends. But the fucking thing was that, like, in my head, it kind of pissed me off, because I really did like Up. I think Up is also one of the most, like, I think it's one of those movies that I really hope, I mean, there's no reason for them to make a sequel, but I hope they never do. Like, they could make some convoluted reason to make one, but, like, I really hope they do not. Like,
I genuinely think that would be more disrespectful of a sequel than Toy Story 4, like, by far. Toy Story 4 is actually way less insulting than a potential sequel to Up.
But the thing was, this short was a fucking sequel. It technically was a sequel. Because it's like, it takes place, like, after they land back home. All the dogs, apparently, that could talk are all picked up by other owners. And, like, I found that so, like, I don't know, at least I found that little, like, denouement a little charming, because it's like, at least the dogs, like, just aren't, like, at a pound somewhere. At least, like, they all got, like, adopted. That's good. And, like, Doug actually has a conversation with the previous alpha, the Doberman from the movie. He has a conversation with him through the phone. And it was just like, wow, like, it was just kind of nuts, because, like, I hadn't watched Up in, like, fucking years, right? Now, like, what am I getting at with this short? This is another fucking example of just, why did you make this? Who the fuck was this meant for? Did anyone give a fuck? Because I guarantee you, the kids who watch this, Up was way past their fucking lifetimes. Like,
maybe it was to give something to the adults who were in the theater with their kids.
Yeah, but it's like, the way they ended it was what really got me twisted, because it's like, you're not even gonna show how the date went? You're just gonna leave it up that, and he went on a date, and then happily ever after, fade to black. That's how it fucking ended.
Yeah, that is kind of stupid because the whole ending of Up is that he has to put the past behind him. So,
well, I mean,
that's kind of like, yeah, why didn't they even show a little bit of it? They could have done something really funny with that, where like he brought Doug with him, and then Doug just makes havoc of the restaurant. Like he gets too worried about Carl on his date, and so he tries real hard to like make it best for him, and then he just ruins everything in a cutesy golden retriever way.
It was two things. It ended way too quickly. I mean, it was a short, so I mean, okay, I guess, but it's like, why then did you have to frame it in the world of Up? And again, and the second thing is that why did you make this? What was the point of this? Like, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words.
Had to have been for the adults in the theater, and it's not strong enough of a plot to get people to go to the theaters to actually see it itself. Toy Story 4 was with the way they marketed it. They're like,
that's why I'm saying that's fair. So why not just give it 10 extra fucking minutes to show the date? They didn't even show the date. Wanted to see how Grandpa like at least like kind of like is at a date. Like I was really curious because it's like this guy's probably a mess.
They probably treated it like a short. They probably just thought to themselves like, oh, this isn't what people came here to see. Like, so we gotta like just rush it quick, and instead of just like instead of just revitalize, this is what I'm talking about, Dennis. This is what I'm saying when I'm talking about quantity over quality. Because they could have done something way more cutesy with it instead. And I'm surprised they didn't. Doug is the one they love because he's like the cute like, golden retriever. Yeah. They had another
squirrel, like,
another short, another like Up short at a film a while back where they get a bunch of puppies and they all start biting his face and he's there playing with Doug and stuff, and it's adorable. I thought if anything that they would go and they would show more of the date that Carl hasn't been on one in forever and just have Doug ruin it in like a cutesy golden retriever way. But the fact that they just do that, like they try to just play on people's heartstrings with Ellie before that even started, this is what I'm talking about, Dennis. I feel like they probably rushed that out. Because they're like, it's a short.
It was absolutely rushed out.
That's what I'm saying. But this is what I'm talking about. This is why people think Disney's going downhill in that way. It's about quantity over fucking quality. Like all these fucking god-awful fucking dog-ass Marvel shows and shit. Like, not to mention like a lot of their like poopy movies that they've been releasing, which even diehard Marvel fans that I know don't even like. We're past like, the golden age of that, as we discussed already with Thanos. And even for their shorts, I can see that infecting it. Because I agree. Why even, like, build up this whole hype to, like, a date or whatever and then not even show it? For a Disney short. Disney shorts are supposed to be cutesy.
Or, like, Up to one of their fucking best movies of all goddamn time. It just seems disrespectful, too, because at least I just found his name, Mr. Fredrickson. Like, how are you gonna just, like, disrespect him like that? Because he's like, I mean, I get it. After the movie finished, he's just an old man going through life, and at the very least, it's like you don't really got that much time left to begin with. Like, let's be real. But then that's why, like, I thought like it would have been so much better just to kind of at least show him going on a date, seeing how he acts around the girl, or like at least the old lady, same as him, and just even also like maybe even telling her what Ellie means to him,
and then she lost. And then she lost her husband.
Yeah.
On top of that, they correlate together for it. Yeah.
But I mean, mind you, if I was like, let's say, their head of like production, right? And like they were telling me, like, okay, like the execs or whoever like are saying that, look, we want to put this short right before Elemental, and I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, we want to put this short. We want to show it right before we show Elemental. And I'm like, oh, but let's say we had that version that you and I talked about, right? Where they go on the date. It's a heartfelt, like, you fucking crocodile tears. Like, you literally are crying, right? And I'm just kind of like, no. Absolutely, no. Fuck no. We're not putting that in before Elemental. It's like, and they're like, why? Did you watch the short? Did you actually watch it? And I'll show it to him, right? And they'll probably go the same way. Oh no, yeah, we can't. No, yeah, we can't. No, we can't put this before Elemental. It's like way too much of a tearjerker. You do not put tearjerkers before a fun kids movie.
Except like, when you do. Except when you do, because show old couple towards end of their lives, lost their spouses together.
Found each other.
For movie that demographic is children and young couples seeing romance Pixar movie about young woman and young man meeting despite their differences, and takes both ends of their romantic lives and squishes them together into one.
Profit.
That's the strategy. Profit, yes. I don't know. That's what I would think. Like, hey, it's a movie about a young couple, so let's, like, at the beginning show something about an old couple, you know?
And the version that we got, going back to at least reality, right? I swear there probably is a cut that maybe they did show the date. Maybe. But it's like, why on earth did you end it there? David, you have to watch it, like, one day. Or maybe this week, just, like, watch it. It's like a fucking 10-minute something short. Not even that long. And, like, I honestly thought, what a waste of 10 minutes. Like, the payoff was terrible. It's just, okay, I will go on date. And then the dog's like, wrong way. And then he goes back the other way. That's literally how it fucking ends. It just basically tells us, haha, old man is senile. He don't know where he going.
Oh, fuck. Maybe they are planning a sequel. Maybe that's why they didn't show it.
But maybe at the same time, it's like, how are you gonna have the main character as Mr. Fredrickson? Like, for kids, it's like, I don't who's this fucking old fart? I don't relate to him. Like, us, the adults, will fucking straight up, like, obviously be like, oh my god, you know, just, well, no, of course we'll feel something.
I cried at the fucking one about the volcanoes. The one about the volcano, there's one about the volcanoes, and it's like a volcano who's in love with another volcano, and he's just singing about how he wants to, like, love someone who loves him too.
Was this like one of those, like, straight to DVD Disney movies or something?
No, it played before Toy Story 3.
It was a short.
Yeah, it was a short.
Oh.
Like, the volcanoes just wanted someone to lava. And it made me actually cry about fucking the sentient volcanoes. It was so stupid. At the very least, they have their own thing. But one thing I want to talk about, if you don't have anything else to say here, is that another extension of this problem.
One last thing.
Go.
I almost hate the fact that I'm burnt out by Disney. Because if I wasn't, it'd be Christmas for me. If I was just a knuckle-dragging, mouth-breathing Disney fan that just loved anything that Disney puts out, I would be over the fucking moon. Because, like, we have never eaten so good, honestly. From, let's say, in that really twisted and warped lens. New release every month. Like, I have a reason to go to the movie theater every month. It's like, hooray, you know? Get to spend money on overpriced fucking tickets and also overpriced concession stand food. But, like, but that's the thing. Like, it's just, I am not. And it's almost, for me, a shame that I'm not. Because I wish either that my brain was just, like, not that critical and, like, I could just eat up shit and just say that it was good, hey, like, it was pretty good, like, and just kind of go about my day. Or I wish also that, like, you know, Disney just put out some fucking bangers for once. And maybe by next year, who knows, maybe they will. But I also feel that they've fallen into that trap where they're so comfortable with the way they're doing things that they have no intention of changing it. James Gunn is one of the few people that worked for Disney that just sort of did his own thing and did it well. And he proved that I don't have to follow your shit formula. Although he still does the whole the fucking Joss Whedon comedic timings of, like, the awkward, like, he's right behind me.
Every superhero movie is about comedy now.
He still did that too. But it's just like, at the very least, Guardians was way more different and different enough from everything else that had come out by that point that it really was, like, not only a Marvel picture, but it was his. That was James Gunn, like, well, he actually was in the movie, believe it or not, but, like, right. That was his, like, you know, creative juices on that sandwich. I don't know why I went that fucking route. But like, my point is that like now everyone in Disney sort of just does the same fucking thing. And not to mention, even at least when it comes to like how a lot of their human characters look in the Pixar movies, they all look like this stupid, dopey, more retarded looking than Mario, like kind of like face. They always have these big ass, bug eyed, like fucking faces and like these really goofy, big ass mouths. It's just like they just look so odd to look at now, and like this is just the way that I guess they're all being drawn now at this point.
Look, change is the law of life, my man, and if Disney just keeps refusing to change DreamWorks and Illumination with the way they're doing, again, Mario movie, top 15, Puss in Boots, more critically acclaimed than the new Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna fall behind. And you wanna know why? Elemental had the second worst, I believe, if not the worst, I don't remember, opening weekend for a Pixar movie, ever. Literally ever. Budget was $200 million. Opening weekend in even US and Canada, including worldwide. US and Canada only $65 million so far. Like, it's flopping, dude. It's actually flopping. Not to mention, people even looked at it and they're like, this is something that a child would still love, but like adult, I'm not even sure would be able to get anything out of it. As a kid, I feel like I would have loved to see that movie, but even part of it just feels shallow, even though I haven't seen it. It just seems like such a safe film for Disney to make. And as a result, there's no creative juice behind it. Like you mentioned, man, it's like, that love is gone. But like, so something will change because as we all know with these industries, the money is what talks. That's what changes their mind.
And
you know.
One more thing too. Again, Hollywood in general. If we're just gonna put them all in like the same sort of like kind of bubble, they're not a proactive industry. They're a reactive one. They always have been, and the reactiveness comes from the fact that we're losing money. So we have to now change up our strategy to make money. Because we want to make money, because if we don't make money, someone else will make money.
A lot of positive change in society actually comes from when companies with insane marketing power, like, start to realize we have to change our stance to fucking get the people on our side. Like Pride Month, you think all these companies give a fuck about gay rights? A lot of them don't, dude.
Also cyclical. Where they'll still care, then they'll not care. And then after that, they realize that people are starting to say, fuck you, and then they're going to start to care again. And it's all just a big fucking cycle. And then we also fall for it hook, line, and sinker too.
This is not to say that nobody gives a shit about the LGBTQ community and stuff, but like I'm just saying, Disney goes as gung-ho with it as they do. Not just in part because it's the right thing to do, but because they realized they had to. They realized more than half the country, like back in like 2012 or 2008, whenever it was, actually started to be in favor of gay marriage and gay rights. The tide was turning. People were way less homophobic. They were more open-minded to them, like just letting them get married, do their fucking shit. So companies have to too, otherwise guess what? They're gonna hate them. A lot of people don't eat at Chick-fil-A out of principle, you know? I'm not saying it's all inorganic, but a lot of it is. Like, you really think they fucking made The Little Mermaid black because they give a shit about diversity? No, these fucking corporate executives, these white corporate executives most of the time, they just wanted a big brown shield, motherfucker. That's all they care about. You know, just getting your bottom dollar for it. This is why me and Dennis say representation matters, but like it has to be done authentically. And that is why the Spider-Verse films are as culturally significant as they are, because they fucking did it right. They know what they're doing when it comes to that character.
Also, the movie's just good. Like
the movie's also just good.
Like if you do representation for representation's sake, but then your movie fucking sucks. Well, now not only does everyone know that you are inauthentic, you are also this is also
shill.
like now, this is like the fucking message now you're putting across there. This is what's on there. Like, this is what you released. And this is what it's going to be known for forever.
And that's how you get your She-Hulks of the world. And all this other, like, dog shit that comes out. I mean, my critique of those movies is that I think the visuals are so good that they're a little distracting from the plot, but I cannot deny that the Spider-Verse films are insanely culturally significant films. Like, they're really important movies when you get right down to it. Including especially for the African American community, which is it's very like Miles Morales is an insanely important character, especially considering that new Spider-Man fans when he was introduced in the comics fucking hated him.
But they revitalized him now.
Yeah, you know, there's no spoilers, but there's a line in the movie that's supposed to be like analogous with the fact that people didn't like Miles Morales in the comic originally about him doing his own thing and stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, Dennis, we should at least, to conclude here, we should at least be happy that at least Disney tries to let some directors do their own thing, and it will probably get better after Elemental flops. But at least they're not a company that is trying to emulate the already dying success of Disney and Marvel. Because The Flash.
Oh.
That movie earned $15 million.
I was shocked how bad that did.
$15 million in the film's second domestic weekend, which was a almost 5% drop from its opening weekend. Oh, we put Michael Keaton Batman. This is cool. It's like universe collided. Ezra Miller, you fucking rapist and kidnapper. Who cares? For Ezra Miller. Yeah, dude, you remember when they fucking tweeted that, like, this movie is so good, it's gonna make you forget about Ezra Miller's crimes? Do you remember when a spokesperson for the movie actually fucking said that with her whole fucking chest? Holy shit. I'm not even gonna get into that now. Just Google Ezra Miller. He's like, it's actual Chris Chan level shit. The person is a genuine psychopath. But here's the thing. The reason I'm bringing that up is because DC has been trying to emulate the success of Marvel forever. With all these shitty-ass reboots and your fucking Wonder Woman sequels that are 3.5 hours long. All this bullshit, right? Most of them are not even good. Some of them were, but most of them are not. Do you bleed? Like, oh my god. Like, especially after, like, the success of Dark Knight, which just makes the new ones look shitty as hell by comparison, but that's just because Chris Nolan is a god. That's not even like Disney being shitty. That's just Chris Nolan, not Disney. DC being shitty. That's just Chris Nolan being Chris Nolan. That's all it is. Yeah. But here's why I'm bringing this up. Real shit. Real fucking shit. I know why this is. You know, David Zaslav, cough. When is DC going to stop trying and failing to emulate the success of live-action Marvel and dump the ludicrous amount of money that they clearly have. Yes, that they clearly have, and that they are putting into those trash-ass films onto their animated ones.
Which are arguably better than whatever Marvel makes animated-wise. By far.
You know, the only DC films that are actually good, Batman, The Killing Joke, like all these Warner Brothers animation films, the Mortal Kombat ones. The Mortal Kombat ones as well, which isn't DC, but, you know, it's the same studio that makes them.
They also even... that's the thing,
seriously,
you're
like,
right. Because...
think about it. Instead of trying to be something you're not, pour that money into your animated projects and separate yourself from even being compared to Marvel entirely, and like Marvel was the king of their genre, become the gods of the animated superhero genre and make all your bank from there. Because this shit right here, they're even losing the bag to that. They're losing that to Marvel now because of Spider-Verse. I'm so sick of network executives getting paid millions just to say, you know what's popular? Fortnite. We should make our own Fortnite. And then Call of Duty Black Ops 4 comes out and the game doesn't even have a fucking campaign because they replaced it with a Battle Royale mode that died within a year. It pisses me off that there are network executives that get paid millions of dollars that have no idea what the people want. All they do is fucking Google what's successful and tell your company to do that. And then fire them when that shit inevitably doesn't work. Network executives are not smart people. Just because they're rich, they're not smart. Some of them are. Some of them are fucking geniuses when it comes to what people want. Some of them have insane foresight, and I hope I'm privileged enough to be able to work for people like that in the future.
Well, at least
some of them other ones, like, holy shit, like,
the mouth
how
breathers.
Did you get to this position?
Daddy's money.
Your fucking daddy's company, like, you know, like,
it's daddy's money. That's how they get there.
Or browsing through Twitter to see what. It's not marketing. That's not how it works. Fuck! All right, I'm done. Your turn. Your turn to vent off of. Yeah, go for it.
I'm just gonna continue.
I'm sorry, I cut you off like 3 times.
No,
I'm really sorry.
You had some shit you had to say. It's fine. You had some shit you had to say.
How? But fuck, because even Marvel's shitting on you in the animation department too, dude.
And here's the thing, though, too. Marvel, as far as Spider-Man was concerned, wasn't even owned by them. It took a whole legal battle for them to for Sony to cave. For them to finally get Spider-Man in their clutches.
I forgot those movies are made in association with Marvel. I forgot there's technically Sony films.
Now they got also Deadpool, which I have, you know what? I'm going to just straight up say it. They're going to ruin Deadpool. They're gonna ruin it. They're gonna fucking ruin it. I know they're gonna ruin it. You know why?
Why?
Because they're gonna bring that stupid Joss Whedon type bullshit into fucking Deadpool. And I'm gonna hate every single motherfucking second of it.
There's people who, like, spoke out against Joss Whedon saying he, like, diddled them and shit. I'm surprised they haven't fucking... Well, actually,
Just stop doing his shit.
I'm not even doing his shit, but, like... Oh, wait, no. I don't remember if they fired him or not, but, like, they're still emulating, I guess, his style, if that makes any sense.
Which, again, this is another trap where, again, Disney saw, hey, what works? And they just continue to do it. And even fucking Star Wars fucking does it. And I fucking hate it. It's the most fucking off-putting shit I've ever seen. And just the way people talk, I'm like, nobody talks like this. Stop talking like this.
It's the illusion
Stop
of
talking
modern
like
audiences.
you're in a Joss Whedon fucking movie.
The illusion of modern audiences, my friend.
Ugh,
it really is Whedon's fault when you think about it. A lot of it does have to do with him.
I bet he takes credit for that. I bet he's proud of it. Like, I bet you in some twisted fucking way in the dinner table, he's probably like, you remember, like all those times in the Marvel movie. I don't even know how he talks, but I just like to imagine he's like fat as fuck, 300 pounds and about to probably die off of cigar and shrimp. Like, he's just kind of like, I remember the Marvel movies. Remember that like whole thing of like, he's right behind me, isn't he? I made that. This is gonna be like, this is gonna be some. It's like this is gonna be like his claim to fame. And I mean, no one can argue. He did at the very least help propel Marvel to like the fucking just the stratosphere at that point. With at least the first couple phases before Infinity War, and even during Infinity War, that was all. Not that was all him, but he did help propel it up there. So I can't deny him that. But I hate your fucking directing style. I really fucking hate it.
It's played out, man. They just, instead of just...
Everyone in Disney does it. That's what pisses me off.
Well, Disney is the biggest perpetrator of, like, the illusion of modern audiences. They're the ones who, like, think they're being very feministic by just making the most unlikable female characters of all time and just giving them all the qualities of, like, a toxic dude instead of just making them feminine because they portray femininity as weakness. They literally think they understand what modern audiences are, but they pretty much did the equivalent of, like, the Twitter guy that makes up a guy on Twitter and then gets mad about it and gets a bunch of people to be mad about a person that literally doesn't exist.
And made that whole, like, dialogue into their dialogue.
That's what I'm
Let's
saying,
just take that and put it there.
That's how these people do their market research.
Oh, God.
Well,
and guys, sorry.
We're fucked.
Sorry if this sounded really ranty, but I don't know. Like, it's just because, like, movies are not getting any cheaper to go to is also, like, what I'm kind of getting at. Like, going to a theater...
Yes, they are, Dennis.
Is expensive.
Dennis, yes,
like,
they are.
Why? You mean... Oh. yo. Well, I mean, but going to a theater to watch a movie. Because not every average person...
I'm so sorry.
I know, it's fine.
I'm really sorry for interrupting
I found it
you.
funny.
Okay.
But I found it funny. Don't worry about it. But it's just like for the average person, we don't have a movie theater like at our house. And like obviously when we go to a theater, it is expensive. It's like I've seen theaters charge north of to like $17, $18. And like
that's how much I paid for my fucking popcorn.
Exactly. Yeah, like you easily, and especially during a recession right now. It's like going to a movie, it's not that like, oh, you're so poor that you can't go to a movie, but it's like, if I'm going to a movie, it's going to be for one that I actually give a fuck about. And like, I mean, even back then, like for the average people, like if they went to go see a movie, I'd like to think they were going to go watch it because they thought, okay, this looks pretty good. And not that they're going to watch like American Pie was it was actually pretty funny. But like, it's not like they were going to go watch like, I don't know, parody movie 2, Fuck Your Mother Part 3. Like, it's not like we're not gonna go watch those. We're not gonna go watch that. And now, like, at least even how David said, Disney's got such a vice grip on the balls of movie theaters, or at least they did because like that's what they were all showing. it is also insane to know that, like, so, I don't know if I've ever seen some Disney releases, Marvel, Star Wars, or even like their own stuff kind of overlap each other, like at a movie theater. Like, you know, when you go to a theater, like you just see the selection of all the stuff that they have for you to watch, and like, you know, just kind of pick and choose, and then get your ticket and go. On that screen, right? I'm sure there must have been like a Marvel movie that had come out on top of a Disney movie that had also come out. Like, it's insane to think about that, like, 2 or 3 movies on that screen is from the same fucking company. That shit's nuts.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, I think everyone's starting to get really burnt out now. Like, just absolutely burnt out from the fact that, like, we get releases every 2 weeks to a month. And I honestly, right now, like, I'll be real. I probably wouldn't have gone to see Elemental were it not for my girlfriend. And at the very least, I didn't hate it. It was good. It was fine. Like, it was C+ Disney. It was Disney.
And unless I get a girlfriend within the next couple of months, your boy is not gonna see that shit either.
Yeah. And like, but here's the thing though too, when it comes to Spider-Verse, I probably wouldn't have gone to watch that by myself. Like, I don't really like or want or have any desire to go to a movie theater and watch a movie by myself. Like, I just don't have that desire. And I watched the latest Transformers with my brother like a couple weeks back, and I even thought, like, I turned off my brain, so at the very least I thought, like, C+. It was good. I didn't hate it. Like, at the very least, I was like, you know, like, you didn't suck. That's what the clap was. You didn't suck. So, you know, good for you. But like, you know, but that's what it is though. Like, for me going to a movie, it's like either that I'm going with somebody, or if I really care about it, then obviously, yeah, I'm gonna go. But I'll even say this, like, I probably would have wanted to go watch the Mario movie with other people. With David, with my girlfriend. Like, I wanted to go with others because it's like, I don't know, like, I even just think, like, going to see a movie with other people is just 10 times better. Because if it does suck, you guys have something to laugh about after it's over.
Yeah.
And if it's great, then you have something to fucking praise about it later. Like, it's just like one of those things. Like, you know, I'm going there for the experience, and also, again, like, movies are not cheap. Like I said, like, they're getting more expensive by the fucking month, it seems. And like, I have to go every day on Tuesdays because, like, you know, they're actually reasonably priced. But my 2 points is that, like, I don't know, movies are complicated. movies are very difficult. Like the nuances of it all. Like, it's just a business plus, and even like just going to see it, making it, and everything. It's just all complicated. Makes my fucking head hurt. But at the end of the day, I guess what I'm getting at is that, like, you know, comes to movies, it's like, one, Disney can go suck it for a while until they make something great. And I'm gonna be real, y'all need to, like, Disney, you gotta make Kingdom Hearts the movie or some shit for me to actually give a fuck about any of your shit again. Because, like, there is no reason for me to go see any of your shit, arguably. I watch your old stuff religiously, but your new shit is, like, not for me. I'm sorry.
Damaged panders. That's all. You know, so, I mean, you talk about seeing movies with people. I saw Spider-Verse with Evan, and he literally kept turning to me to just see my reactions to his favorite parts. My family does the same thing. I'm just sitting there trying to take it all in. You know, the visuals.
Yeah. I'm the same way, yeah.
The visuals so good to the point where they distract me from the plot and kind of make me want to barf. But regardless, Disney, fix your shit. DreamWorks and Illumination are catching up to you. Stop pandering to people. Just trust your old mottos. Trust your sayings.
directors, you fucking idiots.
Trust your directors, and stop pandering to audiences that don't even really exist. All right.
Cool.
Start pandering to me and Dennis instead. We're cool. Yeah. You guys listened to him last week. You listened to him last week, so and look how that turned out.
So Disney, I'll see you guys at the investors meeting in a couple weeks. All right. I'll see you guys then. I'm gonna talk some shit over. Also, this guy's coming with me.
Yes, I will be a humble observer.
A fly in the wall, as they say. A 6'5" fly in the wall.
Let's talk about the elephant or the fly in the room.
The 6-foot fly in the room.
Also, David Zaslav, fuck you, you stupid jackass.
Wait, who's he?
He's the fucking, how do I describe him? He's the fucking...
Zaslav?
Yeah, he's the CEO of, Warner Brothers, and he's the
dude, he looks like he's the brother of Bobby Kotick.
He might as well be, because he's the dude who pretty much hates animation, gets a lot of these shows canceled, and floods, like, doesn't give a fuck about writers. Like, he's everything that's wrong with Hollywood, like, in one person, basically.
You know, this may sound terrible, but when's he gonna have a heart attack? He looked like he's gonna have one.
I don't know. I'm just saying the future of animation is in young adults, which is very, very good for me. For multiple reasons.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. We're done. Plugs. Boom. Double D Pod. Twitter. The Double D Experience 21 Instagram. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Please give us a follow and a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Review our podcast. That would actually be really dope of you guys to do that. That helps with us a lot. Thank you so much for making last week's episode the most listened to episode we've ever had.
Yay!
Thank you.
I honestly think it was just kind of due to timing, but hey, what do I know?
Well, the timing's a big timing. You can't slouch that. That's important. So thank you for that. Also give us a like, comment on this video as well as subscribe to youtube.com/Nintoonist, which is where I know most of you who listen to it anyway. And keep that coming. I don't know when I'm going to upload this. I'm considering uploading them on Saturdays now to see how that does, but whatever. Bridges to cross when I come to it. We're done. Mwah. Support independent animators. Support the hashtag New Deal for Animation. Support the writers on the writer's strike as well, because those people are not paid enough. I want you to know that there's people who legitimately want to replace them with AI and make the media that you consume not written by a human being. Just to put it in perspective for how greedy some of these fucks are. They're more focused on, like, AI voice work right now, I think, but I wouldn't be too surprised if that other shit came next, and that's when the culture war is going to break out, and I will not blame it. We're done.
Same.
I'm gonna go eat some sushi.
I'm gonna go eat as well.
We love you.
Bye.
We love you guys so much for giving us so many views. We're gonna kiss you right now. You guys ready?
Mwah.
All right, Dennis decided to fucking make out and, like, get a little handsy with you guys. That's how much he loves you.
Get a little frisky with you. Thank you again, guys.
Got a little sexual.
Yeah, thank you again, guys, for the views from the last episode.
Keep them coming. Mwah. We really appreciate it. Seriously, so much.
Hate you.
Just do it again.
Fucking hate
No, he doesn't. Don't listen to him.
I hate David.
Except once a week, every week on the Double D Experience. That's when you could.
So I hate you guys 6 days out of 7, but on the days that we record, I love you.
Okay, that's fair.
That's the.